the way they were playing that day, they needed to have scored more goals.
In playing this match and playing the last match, you can actually see where you can put certain players, you can actually see where you can improvise them.
Welcome back to EVO Sports. Amazulu will be hosting Kaizer Chiefs in their 29th match of the season. If Kaizer Chiefs win this match, they will be on 54 points. If Amazulu wins, Amazulu will be on 47 points. But whichever way it goes, it will be better for them because the two teams already have qualified for the MTN 8 this season. Chima, Amazulu, Kaizer Chiefs.
Well, I think Kaizer Chiefs have really achieved something this season, considering the fact that we all wrote them off from the beginning of the season, considering their poor performances when they started the league. But then, I think the turning point after the protests and the whole lot of things, but then they got gingered, when they were approaching Orlando Pirates game. I think 5 games before Orlando Pirates match, they started getting their bearing.
Yeah.
And then they used that momentum into that Orlando Pirates game. And I remember when I was saying it that Kaizer Chiefs was going to decide the title, the PSL title. Many Sundowns fans were like, they don't need to beg anybody. I wish they begged Kaizer Chiefs
to lose
that time. But Kaizer Chiefs like just prepared their mind that they were going to be the spoiler for Pirates and Sundowns. So it all depends on who will survive the spoiler, because sometimes you can shoot 2 people at the same time, but then one might be able to survive more than the other. So that is what Pirates is doing exactly. But Kaizer Chiefs got a point against Pirates, got a point against Sundowns. So it was amazing game for them. So coming to this game too, or even though they lost to Siolele, they gone to Sekukune last match and they won Sekukune. Close 9-minute goals from 85 minutes they began to score, and they scored 2 goals in that match. So it shows that they have really gotten their bearing back, and that fight. Sometimes as a team, yes, your style of play might not suit many people, but if you know the strength of your players, if you know what your players are capable of doing, if your players are capable of bossing the opponent and the referee allows that, and that will give you result. I think for some certain time, you do that to get that result. If you know how to play the tiki-taka style of play to get your result, you do it. If it's sprinting that you can do at that moment to get your result, you do it. But for Kaizer Chiefs case, I think they wrestled again. When the Bible say you don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities. but in terms of Kaizer Chiefs, they wrestled against everything they saw on the field of play, because they knew that maybe if you come to talent or tactical play, Pirates and Sundowns might overtake them or could have outplayed them. So they decide to come with the mentality of frustrating the opponent, wrestling them. The WWE champion Peter Ndlovu was not he was not available against Sekukune. So definitely I think they will prepare him again for another battle against Amazulu now. So even the rest, so right now they are really using their strength, they are using their body well. No, the first leg against Pirates, I complained that this Kaizer Chiefs player, they have too much muscle. Maybe they go to the gym to build only the body without building the strength and building tactics also. But I think maybe at this moment now, maybe while they are building the body, they are also doing 1 or 2 things. But right now, I think they intimidate their opponent, and this is one of their biggest threat. But then, the 2 coaches too, Kaizer and Yusuf, I think they have tried somehow to be able to find a balance within the team. Their rotation, bringing in one player and out, all of those things have really helped the team somehow. There have been a whole lot of competition in the team, apart from players like Flavio Silva and Lilipo, who are so experienced, and with their experience, they have really contributed positively to the Kaizer Chiefs run of form in the past 6, 7, 8 games now. So Flavio, I think, is the top goal scorer with 8 or 9 goals now. Currently, I think he has for Kaizer Chiefs. So, and it's been a while a Kaizer Chiefs player scored 8 or 9 goals in a single season. So that tells you how poor they have been performing for a very long time. So, and then I'm happy to see Gaston Sirino coming back to the starting lineup, in the last match. And I hope he will be available now again, because he's the one that replaced the injured Shabalala and I feel pity for the young boy, getting injured, but it was because of the tempo of the game that day too. So Jaden Adams too have to show Peter Ndlovu that no, not only you can fight WWE, even me too, we are here to protect Sonda. That was why Jaden Adams went for Shabalala to also give him that tag, but unfortunately I don't hope to see that kind of football anymore. So but then Cirino now is replacing Shabalala, so he might also start in this game. Lilepo as usual, Flavio as usual, then Modi too have been a revelation so far, so good. Then in the midfield as well too, I think Peter Ndlovu is going to be back, then maybe probably pairing with Nkobu or so.
In the midfield.
In the midfield, yes. Brandley Cross too has been amazing, on that left side, he has been fantastic. Then McCarthy too, the two centre backs have been so fantastic too. McCarthy and Mnago, they have been playing so well. Unlike what is it called, Miguel have been shaky most times, but since these guys
on and off.
Yeah, since these guys took over that defense line, they have been playing so well. Then kudos to the chief of army staff in defense line, Peterson. So Peterson has been amazing. They have fired all type of missiles, all type of ammunition, all types of bullets, all types of bombs to that goalpost. But then, because if your goalkeeper happen to be one of the best players in the last few games, that tells you the type of attack that your team have encountered in those games. So kudos to them. They have really stand up to those challenges and towards, because what matters is not even how you start sometimes, but how you end. Most time matters. So I think Kaizer Chiefs are really ending the season on a very strong note.
Albert, according to you, you said it was because of the protests that Kaizer Chiefs had brought their groove back.
It has a very positive impact in the game. Since the protests, I think they have had only one loss.
Yeah.
It underscores what challenges can actually bring to a man and what fear can actually bring. That protest might have opened a chapter given to some player that you may be exited from this team next season, as well as the coaches, right?
And they will up their game.
And they will up their game. Without minding word, that protest actually helped in boosting the morale of the player, coming all out to ensure that they prove a point. Because if you have to lose only one match in 9 games, what if you have put up this kind of performance from the beginning of the season? That is to say, perhaps
you'll be gunning for the league.
You'll be gunning for the league. So that protest has a very, very high stakes in the performance. But going to this game proper against Amazulu, to me, I see it as a novelty game. I see it as a friendly game, in my own point of view. Why? Because if they win their remaining 2 matches, if Kaizer win the remaining 2 matches, they'll be 57 points. They are not anywhere in league contender. If Amazulu win their next 2 matches, they'll be 50 points. So I expect somebody like Ben Yusuf play in your fringe players. There are steady starters in the team, the Lilepos and all of that. Bring in people like Vilakazi, let Brandon Peterson, let him go back to the bench. Bring in fringe player. Try to these last 2 matches, building their confidence. See what they can.
Even relegate the keeper to the bench.
Peterson. That's what I'm saying. Bring him to the bench. Bring the goalkeeper understudy. Put him into the pitch. In short, revamp the entire team. Then bring in players like Sele, people that comes in from the bench. Let them start the game to boost their morale, to give them confidence, right? Because among these players that are coming as sub, it's not all of them that will leave at the end of the season. So in these last 2 matches, put them on the pitch, because you have no stakes here, you have nothing to lose. If you lose the remaining 2 matches, you are still where you are. If your team coming behind you win their remaining 2 matches, they are not coming to meet you. But sometimes they want to look from the angle of pedigree, from the angle of pride, from the angle of ego. We are Kaizer Chiefs. We don't have to lose with this team. But to me, it doesn't make any big difference, right? So I expect him to as well drop certain players. Especially, in the attack, he has energy playing players. He has fast-paced players. Anybody can have injury at any point in the game. People like Lilekbo and all of that. I think Silva has an injury or something like that. So playing your French players. Let them come into the pitch in your last 2 matches. Let them build some level of confidence. See some level of potentials in a match day, different from training. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Let them play. Let the central defenders come in. Take all your central defenders and your right fullback. Let them be on the bench and let these other players go into the pitch and let's see what they can perform. Because in playing this match and playing the last match, you can actually see where you can put certain players. You can actually see where you can improvise them come next season. Because I still believe maybe players want to leave the team given that maybe Ben Yusuf or even another coach come, it will not be more than 4 or 5 players that will leave the team. So that is to say some players are even fringe players that are still on the bench. They are still going to be in the team next season. So this is the time for you. There's always a time for a coach to play in fringe players to boost their confidence. Just that maybe you are playing a cup game or perhaps the World Cup or Nations Cup and you have qualified. It's time for you to just drop like 6 players to the bench and put in maybe 3 tested first player and bring in like 7 players into the pitch so that you can see what they can do maybe in a match where you need to just put them, call them to service and all of that. So at the end of the day, to me, it's just a game that it could just be a game of pride.
Like a
novelty game, just like a game of pride. So I believe somebody like Ben Yusuf, in my own point of view, though, is the coach of the team. He should play French players. Let him see them in a match situation. Let him start them and see what they can bring to him at the end of the day, because there's actually nothing at stake. Let him rest his first team player so that injury don't set in, because next season is not very, very far away from now.
Chima, do you have anything to say before I go to the prediction?
Yes, in as much as what he's saying is okay, but from my own perspective, I feel I'm not sure the coaches will do that, because there are many reasons why they will not want to do that. Firstly, it might be a novelty game for you, but to Kaizer Chiefs, I don't think it will going to be a novelty game for Kaizer Chiefs and for Amazulu, because as it stands, like this is a PSL game, and the PSL game record is at stake. Players' performance is at stake. World Cup is available around the corner. Many of these players
want to make the list to the World Cup.
To the World Cup. So their performances as well too. The remaining 2 games too. In as much as they have other important games they want to play, but then this is like the remaining 2 games of the season as well too. So it's very, very important for the crew, very important for the players. So definitely they don't have anything to lose if you have to play the players. So he's still going to feel the strong players. Peterson will want to keep, because they want to be in action more for the World Cup, so that Hugo Bruce can also see them. People like Cross can also want to play and put in a very good shift. People like the attackers, possibly they might want to use this match to get goals. So everybody wants they want to have that record that before the end of the season or by the end of the season we won about 5 games in a row, or we want to, because all these games are going to be counted for people like Kaizer Chiefs coaches as well. So then come end of the season, if they want to start pre-season, then they can begin to check any players you want to check also. But now I think the season must end on a very high note for Kaizer Chiefs. There's no room to say you want to bench some players also. That is from my own perspective also. That is what I just believe, because they have to prove something even to the national team coach.
I came into that too, because look at, if Orlando Pirates say if Orlando Pirates win their 2 matches, they will be on 71 points, and that will be the highest record they've
they have already made the highest 65 points is the highest point they have attended. So if they now win this next one, that they are setting another record that will be in the next many years to come.
So if they win and they have 71 points, that will be the highest record they've set in the PSL. But I came to what Chima just said, because it do not be like a game of pride. Normally it's supposed to be like a game of pride.
I have said it over and over. See, it depends on the way the coach see it and how Hugo Bruce see it. If you tell me Orlando Pirates want to secure much points just to increase their pedigree, they want to break their same record, it's not bad. Are you getting it? There's nothing Lilekbo want to play in the next match that he hasn't played before. You understand? So every coach has their own way they see it. Hugo Bruce have the way they see it as well. Even he as Hugo Bruce have seen the table already. So if Ben Yusuf want to bench a player in the remaining 2 matches, you know it's not performance related, it's just to rest them. So whichever way it goes, it has to do with the coach thoughts or ideology.
Chima, do you think that Ben Yusuf will be the coach of Kaizer Chiefs come next season?
I doubt, because as it stands like this, we can attribute the success of Kaizer Chiefs now to the both of them. So if one goes and you cannot retain both of them next season again, you still have to. One has to leave, and you want to make sure that you have a standard coach that you hand over the whole affairs to. So definitely they might want to go for more experienced coach, because they need to flush out some players and bring it, because now they will be playing in the CAF Continental stage. Last season they played in this season they played in CAF Cup. They came out of the group. They were not out of the they were not out of the group stage.
Okay.
Based on goal difference. I think Kaizer goal difference was there about Zamalek qualified. I think Kaizer Chiefs had about either 11 points or there, if I'm not mistaken, out of the group stage, and they went out. So I could remember when they were playing their home game, either against Zamalek or one team or so. Itumilekune was very angry that I think this guy don't know that they need to score more goals. So if only they had more experienced players or more experienced coach in that game, they were winning. But the way they were playing that day, they needed to have scored more goals. They had the chances to score more goals, but they were so casual. They were so casual in that game, as if there was nothing at stake. And at the end of the day, they find themselves coming out of the group empty-handed. So I think in this time around, I'm not sure if the Kaizer Chiefs family will want to still have the affairs of the team with this same guy, because I think now the whole pressure have been high. The way Pirates have played this season, Sundowns have played. I think Kaizer Chiefs also will want to be the one of the contestants, not just a participant, not just participating in the league. So they want to contest with people like Kaizer Chiefs and people like Pirates and Sundowns too this season. So they will not want to take that risk of starting poorly again, which you need a bigger coach, you need a more experienced coach, and you need more better players. So either from within the PSL league or outside the PSL league. And these coaches might be scared of going for those kind of players, because they might be scared of relieving or sending away some players that have worked with them up to this level. So it only takes a new coach with more experience that will come with his authority to decide to change the structure of the team.
Albert, you came into that Chima's opinion by Kaizer Chiefs not returning Khalid Ben Yusuf.
I don't agree totally. Why? Because I think the management and the recruiting system of the Kaizer Chiefs may actually adopt him, given that he has actually started giving result, though towards the tail end of the season, and he started bringing the best out of his players. Now, don't forget, when there is a co-coach in a team, the philosophies are not always the same. Now, but in the past 5-6 matches, I see Khalid Ben Yusuf as the one always standing on the lines.
But both of them cannot stand.
No, that is what I am saying. They are co-coach. Yeah. But in the past 6-7 matches, Ben Yusuf is always the one standing on the line. So they may relieve one person of his job and actually leave one person. It now depends. Now, because if you say you are going for Continental, even the new coach comes and they don't give him a good transfer war chest, he doesn't buy players and all of that. Perhaps the same results Khalid Ben Yusuf have is the same result the coach, or even lesser than what he's going to have. So if you bring in a new coach, it's not bad. What level of experience do the coach have is another question. Do you give him good money to buy players? No. That's another question again. So it now depends on them who they want to leave. And perhaps before sacking him or before giving him another contract, they will have a roundtable talk. This is what I want in the first stanza of the season. If you don't qualify, if you don't win your so matches in the CAF Champions League, we'll relieve you and all of that. So there's always a contractual agreement between a coach, or a contract between a coach and the management, or a player and the management. So when you don't meet up to those standards, you know that you're going to relieve off your job. But to me, I just think Ben Yusuf should just still be left at that position.
Even I myself, I think Ben Yusuf should still be left in that position. Chima, your prediction, Amazulu versus Kaizer Chiefs.
1-1.
1-1. You've taken my prediction. You've stolen my prediction. How about Amazulu versus Kaizer Chiefs? Chima just stole my prediction.
This is your prediction. I predict what I feel.
Kaizer Chiefs 2-1.
Kaizer 2-1. 1. And I go for 2-0 Kaizer Chiefs. We have come to the end of this episode. I will urge the fans at home, share, likes, and subscribe to enable us serve you better. Thank you and be blessed.